Hello everyone and welcome to episode 16 of the Realm SMP. Now, I gotta level with you all before we get started today. It has been quite a while since I have logged on to the Realm. Last time I actually uploaded a Realm SMP video was, I believe, around December 8th. It is currently February 2nd. And so I've not been on the server for quite a while, and I have a lot of regrets for that. I'd love to be playing on the server more. I love this server, but I've just been doing other stuff, and I just haven't had the drive. But that drive is back, because we're back on the server today, and we got some stuff we're gonna get done. Last episode, we built this cactus as a little prank to get back at Ferris for throwing my netherite helmet into a cactus. Still kind of hurt about that. We'll definitely get that back at some point, but not today, probably. But overall, I mean, the cactus looks great. I still love it. I think it turned out beautifully. And I did mention at the end of the last episode I was going to put some rewards in there, and I did put rewards in there. He got a beacon, as well as some other stuff in that chest there. He actually took them out now, but, you know, I kind of regret not putting, like, a desert or something in that cactus. It would have been, like, a cool second layer, but, you know, it is what it is. Not much has changed on the server since I've been away. I know Bean's done a bit more work on his factory there, and the tag also moved around a little bit, but I bet I should speak about that real fast. So Leah had the tag last, and she tagged Bean, who is an interesting player on the server because he only gets on once every few months, which obviously is fine. There's no pressure to get on the realm. Whenever they want type of thing is my motto. And because it's on Bean, we didn't know exactly when it would kind of be moving again. And so I just found out today that Bean didn't actually want the tag, which I think is fair. So he's gone ahead and given the tag back. So I'm going to leave it here for the time being. And maybe next episode, we'll figure out what we're going to do with this. I may take it on myself because I don't know if I want to give it back to Leah. With that being said, I do want to like have an episode where I don't have to like get tagged or like tag someone. It feels like every episode. Oops. It feels like every episode I've been tagged, and I'm kind of tired of it. So we're just gonna leave it there for the episode. I need a bit of a break. Also, I want to talk about this. Why? I think this is Ferris, but Ferris keeps putting fire on like all of my builds. Like he's lit up my rocks, and I don't know how to feel about this. Did he not learn from the cactus? We have a few things we're gonna do today. First of all, I gotta respond to this airship. First of all, I have to say this again. This airship is absolutely beautiful, and I highly doubt I can build anything like that rivals this. This thing is great. Cole did an amazing job. I just don't know how he did it. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, I can't let it slide, unfortunately. This is a bit of a declaration of war, so we'll have to assemble, as I mentioned last episode, or the episode before, I can't actually remember. We're gonna have to assemble the Air Armada to come and deal with him, and maybe, you know, maybe make a statement of our own epiphyte. That's Cole's base, by the way. It's called epiphyte. But before that, there is one more thing I actually want to do over at the shopping district that I have to do. It's been not being done for too long, so we're gonna go do it now. Oh my god, I actually have not been here, and this place is an absolute mess. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I have no idea what this is. It's made of obsidian, which is gonna be kind of annoying to farm, but like, there's these stupid magma trees that Ferris loves doing. This makes you assume that it was Ferris who did this. He's really... He's got like a dirt club coal. Okay, maybe Cole did this, or like 1 diamond per... Oh my... Okay, he's made a coal store. Ground up coal. A jukebox. What? I guess we got a coal store here now. I don't... This is not gonna work here, but you know, I'll leave it for now, I guess. I wonder, how is this gonna affect the property value of these other buildings? I don't know. I'm gonna have to speak to some lawyers or something. I hear there's a new courtroom on the server that I can utilize. Also, he set my entire park on fire, and he said, "What is going on?" Okay, look, if Ferris is, I'm gonna send Ferris a cease and desist, or I'm gonna have to throw another cactus on his land. I don't know. I don't know what to say here. We do not forget what you forced upon us. Embers of the tree. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot what I forced upon them. They may not forget, but I definitely did. Let me clean all this up and put out the fires. Okay, so the park itself is cleaned up. Now it's time to talk about what I'm actually gonna do here. So, obviously, we built the park in episode 14, and we left the centerpiece here pretty empty. Now, when it comes to putting something in the center building, it really depends on what we want to use it for. It's a multi-purpose building type of thing. And so I imagine what's inside it will change as time goes on. That being said, I'm going to be using this as like a little event hub, personally. When I have an idea for a fun event that people can join in on, I'm going to put it in here, at least to sign up for it. And that's exactly what we're doing in here today. I'm going to start a bit of a city building competition. In episode 14, we made the city expansion where we have this giant area that we can fill with all sorts of different stores and buildings and fun stuff. But realistically, this is too much for me to build alone. And so I want to invite my fellow server mates to come in and take a crack at building their own buildings. Let me go get some blocks and I'll explain what we're going to do in here while I'm building it. Okay, so I got everything we're going to need to build up the little thing in here. In this shulker box, it's not very much. You guys can probably guess what I'm doing. Well, maybe not with the terracotta, but you'll quickly see. So let me explain what I'm doing while I'm putting this all together then, shall we? So last episode, we spent all the episode basically making a giant city, which is right out there. And while I do have plans for the city, it's just a bit too big for me to build on my own, isn't it? At least for me to fully build in a respectable time frame, especially with all of the other multitude of projects I have started and am still putting off. I really don't think I can get away with not building that railway station for much longer. They won't stop harassing me about it, guys. You don't understand. And we kind of need a bit of an event to get the server back alive, because it's been pretty dead for a good month now. So we gotta inject some life into it. And so I think the best way of doing that is having a bit of a competition. Everyone absolutely loves competitions, right? And so I figured we could, knock two birds out with one stone and allow people to claim different plots in my city, because I have a lot of them, and kind of just build whatever they want there, whatever shop they want, whatever building they want. They don't even have to be shops. I just prefer if they were like kind of building, like, make some sense to a city. So I thought, why not just let people make whatever shops they want? They'll have the plots and they can build whatever they want in them. It's really up to them. And I'm trying to put together a bit of a mini city in here, but I don't know exactly how well it's turning out. I may tweak it a little bit. Looks a little rough on the edges right now, but I think the general gist of it is there, which is the important thing. And so with that, this area will be pretty good. Now, obviously, this is only the first iteration of the interior to this thing, and I'm sure once this is done and the city's fully built, I'll take it all down and maybe put something else up in there. Or if anyone else has any of the events they want to run, they can tell me and then we can put it up in here too, instead of having all the different buildings. I think stuff like tag that's more permanent can still have their own buildings, but stuff that's kind of like, city building, temporary thing, once all the spots are used, we're kind of done. I think they would be perfect in here. Just a way to kind of spread the word around the server a bit more, An event hub, if you will. Anywho, give me a little bit to put everything I just said into a book, and then this area should be done. Also, I might touch it up a little bit. It's looking a little rough on the edges. And just like that, it's all set up and ready to go, and is also officially on. So at any point, people can start claiming their plots and then building at their earliest convenience. So to my fellow server mates, good luck, and I hope you come up with some good stuff. This is gonna be great. And with that done, it's time to get into the main meat of today's video that I am absolutely terrified to get into, because it is gonna be rough. I know. Now, I mentioned earlier that we're gonna have to get back at someone for a certain build, and I mentioned that build was this flying airship in front of us. It grasps my attention every time I look at it. It's just like the wings are so good on it. How is Cole so good at building? Oh my god, I wish I was this skilled. And all the armor sense are also really cool. I don't know if I'll put armor sense in mine, but we'll see. I might. I have an idea. Now, I also mentioned assembling the Air Armada, and I do plan on doing that. But first, we gotta decide what type of ship we want. This is more of, I believe, like a Norse airship, which is an interesting way of going about it. I think it makes sense for Cole. He's like the bug people, and so it has wings, which makes sense. Not necessarily a bug thing, but that's kind of the connection I'm drawing here. Now, my ships are gonna be a bit different, because obviously, I'm the center of air magic right here. Well, not right. This is okay. This is technically an offshoot of the main thing that I'm going to build eventually, maybe. But I have air magic over here, so I don't really need these floating wings to flap, even though that still does not make sense scientifically, but you know, it's Minecraft, who cares? And so I don't think I necessarily need these wings. I can just make a normal ship and get away with it, I think. That being said, I want a ship that looks interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and do some research and maybe get back to you on what type of ship I'm going to build. It's been a few days and I think I finally come to a consensus on both what type of ship I want to build as well as the design of the ship, actually. I've been working pretty hard in creative testing world on the side. I also streamed the designing of some of the ship over on my Twitch, so if you want to get sneak peeks like that in the future, make sure to go follow. It'll be in the description. But enough of the plugging, let me talk about the ship we're going to be building here today. So Cole is elected to go with one pretty large flagship with no other ships around, and I am also going to have a large flagship similar to this size, maybe a teeny bit bigger, but I'm also going to elect to have some smaller warships along the sides for support and to make sure, you know, I'm not left undefended. Now, I did want to talk about Cole's ship a bit because I don't exactly know the planning process that went into this thing, but this ship is very heavily based on the Viking ships. I would know because I looked at them kind of thoroughly to research my own ship. But commonly, Viking ships had these shields on the side, and I mean, to be fair, it just looks like a Viking longship in general. They loved having these little emblems on the front here, which my ship kind of has a bit of one, but yeah. Besides, Minnesota is kind of Viking-like anyway, to be fair, so it makes sense. Now, when I was designing my own ship, I had a few things I wanted to, like, keep track of to make sure I didn't do. First of all, I wanted my ship to stick out from Cole's ship. I don't want to copy his mojo here. I think this ship looks absolutely amazing, as I've said, but I want something that's a bit my own. So I kind of ruled out going for a Viking vibe, even though those ships are pretty cool to make, honestly. And instead, I went to look at another passion of mine, which comes in the form of ancient Greek warships. Now, most of you who know me know that I am absolutely in love with a specific piece of media called Epic the Musical by Jorge Rivera Herons. Make sure to check that out. It's so good. It recently finished, and oh my god, I listen to it on repeat like all the time. And that story basically goes over the epic, the Odyssey, which follows Odysseus trying to get home from the war in Troy, and all the escapades he went on there. And so I have been obsessed with Greek mythology and like kind of a bit of Greek warfare too on the side, ancient Greek warfare, which led me to looking up like what ships they use, because obviously ancient Greece was a very ship-based society. There's a bunch of islands. Oh, and now it's raining. All right, hang on. It's always raining on this server. Now that the rain's gone, as I was saying, the ancient Greeks used ships called triremes, I believe is the pronunciation. I could be pronouncing that wrong. Forgive me if I am. And I took a lot of inspiration from that, which you will see once I actually get to building it. But before I go into any more depth about the triremes and ancient Greek warfare, let's go ahead and get the resources and start building this thing. I think you guys are going to love how it looks. I think it turned out amazing. I am very pleased with how the ships actually turned out. Now, there's a few little things that I gotta fix, like all the torch spam everywhere. I hadn't had this lit up for a bit, and I actually died. I went AFK for a moment, and I went AFK on the ship, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be okay. And then I realized, oh wait, mobs can spawn. What if they knock me down into the water and I drown? And wouldn't you know it, but I got knocked in the water and I drowned. Luckily, Sherbert, who is currently on, was on at the time, and got my stuff for me and made sure I didn't despawn. So thank you to Sherbert, saving me time for this recording. But yeah, we have lit up. I think it looks really cool, but it's not quite done, I'm afraid. There's a few detailing bits we gotta do. Mainly, it's kind of hard to have a fleet, an armada, without a crew. And so we're gonna have to do some armor stand shenanigans like Cole's done here. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of scared because I've not really done any armor stand shenanigans yet. So I don't really know how hard it's gonna be. We are gonna need to get a head though, and I'm gonna get one. I think I have one in mind actually. So let me quickly get some of those heads. Okay, while I'm working on getting those heads ready, let's have a quick history lesson. So, I mentioned earlier that my fleet was based off of the Greek trireme, but this is only partially true. Technically speaking, my main flagship is the only trireme, thanks to its 3 sets of oars. Well, in this case, the 3 sets of wings on each side. The smaller warships are known as biremes, and they all have 2 sets of wings. Also, as a fun fact, Odysseus' ship in the Odyssey is a bireme, not a trireme like I previously thought. But it's okay. Triremes are an evolution of the bireme, which itself is an evolution of the pentaconter, ships that were created for both sea trade and battle. The distinct difference between pentaconters, biremes, and triremes are the amount of oars they have. Pentaconters have 50 total oars, 25 on each side. Biremes have 2 sets of oars, 50 on each side, adding up to 100, while triremes, as the name suggests, have 3 sets of oars, which would add up to around 170 oars, which really bothers me, because I feel like we had a good thing going with like all the 50s, but I guess triremes had to be different. The trireme, given that it was often used as a warship, came equipped with a bronze battering ram on the front that was used to ram into enemies to sink their ships, which is absolutely sick and can be seen in my design, shown here. Now, I could talk about the trireme for like an hour, but we don't really have that kind of time. So I will end it by saying that trireme allowed those who use it to gain the upper hand thanks to its quick and easy maneuverability. Oh, heads must be done. I'm sorry guys, I gotta take this. You know, I don't know how long it's been missing, but someone on this server has stolen away my Medulla list. It's just, the stone is just gone. I don't know how long it's been like this. I could probably check the timeline to see if it was in that. It was a few days ago, so I imagine it was kind of recent. But I didn't even notice it was gone. But to be fair, it does give a really nice look at the Air Armada from here. So I think we're going to leave it like this for now. Maybe next episode we'll go ahead and put it back. And after a bit of death at the hands of Sherbert, I have all of the heads I'll need for the air elementals to put onto the ships. I did want to quickly note that these aren't just going to be exclusive to my Air Armada down there. Eventually, we're also going to scatter these guys around the base itself to kind of liven it up a bit more. But that's not today. I don't have time for that, unfortunately. Without further ado, let's go ahead and actually get a look at these guys. I quickly threw the skin together, and I think it turned out quite nicely. I don't have a ton of experience when it comes to making skins from scratch, so I think this guy turned out pretty okay. Definitely not the best I could have done, but I like it. I very much so like it. He's cute. And I think they'll look good when there's a lot of them. So now that we have all the heads we need, there's a few more things we gotta get before I can start actually placing and figuring out all of the different positions I want to put them in. First of all, most obviously, we're gonna need way more armor stands, which to be fair is not that hard to get. A bit of wood and some smooth stone slabs. That's basically all we need for armor stands. The difficult thing is gonna be all the leather we need. Because while I have the head covered, all of these guys are going to need chest plates, leggings, and boots. And that is a ton of leather. 19 leather, which is quite pricey. On top of some white dye that I'm going to use to make them, white clothes. But white dye is not that big of an issue. We have plenty of skeleton farms scattered throughout the server, so we're good to go on that. I just don't have a cow farm or any way of getting leather, so we just got to take some time and farm up some cows. So I'll see you guys in a second. And after a couple hours of breeding, we have all these cows, which I'm gonna level with you guys. I don't think these are gonna be enough. We need 19 leather per armor stand, and these ships do need to be pretty filled up to look nice, I think. So we're definitely gonna be killing most of these guys. Anyway, let me do a quick magic trick and make all these cows disappear. I have seen terrible things. Anyway, with half the cow population absolutely obliterated, we have gotten this much leather, which is pretty good. This may actually be enough. I hope, because I'm tired of killing cows. Well, with the leather situation good to go, I think it's about time for us to actually start placing some armor stands. So I'll meet you guys over at the ship, and let's get to work. Okay, so step one of getting the armor stands figured out is placing the armor stands. And it does require a bit of creativity because all of these guys have to be customized to do unique poses, kind of have their own personalities and stuff. And I think I have some good ideas for this first ship. Some of them are pretty simple, like this commander rallying his troops, getting ready to battle. This one's a bit of like, I don't know, for some reason I thought Titanic in my mind, where this one's gonna be hanging off the side like, whoa. And this guy's like, wait, don't, be careful. This one over here is going to be leaning against the pole, speaking to these two as they're just like chit-chatting before the big battle. And then I was going to have this one over here be a bit scared. I think all the other empty space can probably be filled up with other details that don't involve armor stands, because this is a lot of armor stands, and I have 4 other ships I got to do too. So I think overall this is a pretty good start. All right, so let me go ahead and put some armor and their heads on, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, and now that they've all been fully clothed and they have their heads on, now we can start getting them into position, which is going to be the part I'm most scared of. Now, I don't think I have to do anything too crazy for this ship, and hopefully for any of the ships. I'm not really ready for anything too advanced yet. I have lots to learn before I'm on Cole or Ferris level. They've done so much with the armor stands. I'm really behind. I think this will be a good start to actually getting used to the armor stands and to start using them more. Probably doing more with them next episode. So give me a second, and I'll go ahead and get all of these guys positioned, and then I'll check back in once that's done. And roughly 30 minutes later, we've finished the first and the largest ship. All the armor stands have been fully positioned and are decorated. So first of all, we have these two doing the little Titanic thing that I said, where like this guy's hanging off the edge, you know, like, whoa, it's a ship. And this guy's like, wait, don't fall. I like how these turn out. These do look nice. And you come over here and we're rallying the troops. They're all like raising their swords into the air, except for that guy. That guy's asleep. So don't let your sergeant know about this, or you're gonna be punished. Tossed off the edge, I reckon. These two are just having a nice little conversation. This guy probably could have been a bit better, but he'll work for now. And these two are just having a chat. And then we have a little Bobby over here who's a bit scared. His knees are feeling really weak, and he's just like looking out into the skyline. He's scared of heights, ironically enough. He must not like it here very much. And now that all of these guys are done, now it's just time for the smaller ships, which are not going to be as in-depth with their detailing. I already put down the armor stands, and I already kind of know what I want to do for each of these ships. And so I think next time you guys see me, I'll have all of these ships done. And then I'll just throw a few more details on, and then we'll be done with the episode. So we're quickly coming to an end. I don't really want to reveal any more about what I have planned for these ships, so I'll just go ahead and do them, and I'll see you when they're done. I have been at work for a couple of hours now, but I think the ships are finally complete, and they look amazing. Let's start with the main flagship that you guys have already seen. Nothing here has really changed at all. I've just done some detailing, changing out some of the flooring for trapdoors, and just adding in a lot of barrels, like, because obviously these ships are going to need a lot of storage. This is the first time I've used any of the mini blocks, which I think make great additions. Just adds in some needed variation. This guy's a little more hidden away now, which is a nice little detail, I think. These three are chatting. It just feels more like lived in. Starting right the way down here, all the ships have this detailing with the barrels and also the flooring, so I'm not going to mention that again, but I like it. We got here, this guy's a spotter. He's like, oh my god, right there, that's the enemy. And this guy's like, alright, I got him. Back here, this guy is sharpening his blade on the grindstone, trying to get it ready for the Minnesotans. And this guy's having a nap. Once again, hidden away from the others. These barrels are offering a lot of hiding places for these people to slack off. This ship I call the party boat, because these 4 guys are they're just dancing. I don't know why they're doing it. I just thought it'd be funny if I just had a ship with people who are dancing. And back here, these two like arguing or something. This guy's not very happy though, clearly. Now here we are at the front left ship. This ship is similar to that ship actually. You have the spotter being like, yo, there's the ship, and then all these guys. You got the firing right squad here. Yeah. Look at this angle. We can aim right at the one shooting the harpoon. We can unlatch them from my snow island. And then this ship, it's a bit of an unfortunate scene actually. This guy's face palming because it's like, what are we doing, guys? And then yeah, this guy has fallen off the ship, and his brethren are trying to save him. It's both tragic and cute at the same time. Hopefully this guy's okay. I don't really know what happens when they touch the ocean. Do they like disintegrate or something? That'd be a bit gruesome, honestly. All in all, what this means is basically the ships are complete. The Air Armada has been assembled, and we are going to be taking down these Minnesotans within the next few episodes. You know, overall, I'm quite pleased with how the ships turned out. I was a bit worried at first with the first variation, with like the pure spruce. It looked bare, and it looked a bit, I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to be able to improve it. But I think giving them a dark oak trim, changing the floor to spruce, and making and adding in the trapdoors and barrels really livened up the place. As well as, of course, my little goobers. I really like the heads. I think they turned out great. Also, if you have any criticism for my armor stand usage, let me know down below. Keep in mind, this is the first time that I've really used armor stands, so be a bit, you know, don't be too harsh, please. Anyway, I'm afraid that is all I have time for in today's episode. So I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be back next episode, episode number 17. We're gonna do some work here on the starter base, and hopefully get close to finished. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, goodbye.